Hey guys, it's Emmanuel with Bothersome Truth, and I wanted to make a video today in response to a video I saw with Daniel. I know that he spoke about the Hillary Clinton fainting spell and how I guess she got touched by God a little bit, or maybe her contract with the devil is expiring, who knows. But at any rate, during the memorial event, or I'm sorry, after the memorial event, we saw her faint. Yeah, this is traffic. This is what Atlanta looks like. But we saw her give a little faint and spin just before entering her car. And, of course, many people are speculating that this has to do with her ongoing health problems and health complications. And the reason why this is important is because many people speculate that she is unhealthy and unfit to serve as president because of her questionable state of health. So I made a comment yesterday on a thread, and I basically stated that yes, this raises questions about her overall well-being, because if her physiology is in any way impaired, especially if her physiology is affecting her cognitive faculties, right? If it's affecting her cognition, then those are questions that need to be asked. Now, the reason why I bring into question her cognitive capabilities is because she has a history of these kinds of offense that all tend to be symptomatic of someone who is having repeated seizures, someone who is having some type of aneurysm-related issues in the brain. Again, I'm not a doctor, but from what I've read online, and you guys could do your own research independently, she suffered from an original aneurysm back when she was Secretary of State, if you guys remember that correctly, right? And it was so incapacitating that she had to leave for several days on end and conveniently miss one of her hearings. This was back during the Benghazi days, right? She had to miss one of her Benghazi hearings because of that. I'm not saying there's any validity to the Benghazi scandal or anything. I'm saying that she did submit a hall pass or request for absence because she had a doctor's visit, and she gave us a doctor's note. The doctor's note said that she had a brain aneurysm. Okay, and then later on, there have been repeated reports as early as or as late as just a few months ago of her having episodes and seizures while in conversations with reporters, where she's getting these like dizzy spells while she's talking to you. Those things are not normal. Those things are not regular routine habits, right? If I'm a truck driver, one of the questions they ask you when you're applying is if you've had any seizures in your life. In your life. And you could bet if you've had 2 or 3 in your life, you'll be disqualified from the job, because they understand that affects your that does affect your motor skills at the very least, but it also affects your mental faculties as well. It affects things like memory. It affects things like your overall irritability. You could become more irate, reportedly. Very quick to anger. There are people that are in her surrounding circle, interns, for instance, who have reported her being very, easily agitated and unnerved. I understand some people have a short temper, but when you keep getting these reports from her bodyguards, from her Secret Service, from her interns, from people that work around her, that she is very quick to anger, then no, friends, she isn't just a really nice person to talk to and have a conversation with. There may be questions about her overall state of well-being. And most importantly, her psychology. That's so important, because if she is being affected by physical ailments in a way that produces a response that makes her, well, irrational or violent. Those are issues that we need to talk about. That kind of a person does not need to be holding the keys to the military in her hands or his hands, anybody's hands. If you're having seizures that affect your very personality, that's a problem. And so people are stating that this is a vicious attack against Hillary Clinton. For me mentioning this, right? I'm viciously attacking her. This isn't a vicious attack. That's stating the truth. That's stating reality. If you're having seizures that affect your mood and your cognitive capabilities, that is a problem. That's not my problem, that's your problem. And you should be deeply concerned about it, right? And the fact that you still want to be president in spite of that is problematic. It shows you don't have the interests of the American people at heart. Now, previous presidents, because she's not the first, have covered up information pertaining to their health whilst running for office. I believe FDR was one of them at one point. I believe there's a litany of presidents actually that have done this. This is not something that's unusual or unheard of for presidential candidates to manipulate the records in order for them to show good health when in actuality they weren't. And we find out later they fucking weren't. Right? So this isn't a conspiracy theory. This is no conspiracy theory. This is simply a theory that's proving itself to be more and more true with the more information that we get from her medical records, from her doctors, from the people around her. It's an exposure to reality that's uncomfortable for people. And I wanted to talk about one last thing. There's this notion that by being critical of Hillary, you are somehow being ruthless to her, or you're being overly critical, or you're being harsh, or you're expressing some type of insidious antipathy towards her. No, listen. I could care less about Hillary the person. Do I think that she does have some questionable people that she interacts with? Yes, some questionable relationships. Absolutely. I think most people understand that. I think that's why she is rated by 2 out of 10 Americans as untrustworthy in America, because people see that and it's obvious that she is someone who colludes with corporations and governments in a way that appears clandestine and, quite frankly, corrupt. Just put it blatantly. It's corrupt the way that she interacts with other people. But that doesn't mean that I wish ill upon her. Do I believe that she's the spawn of Satan simply because I recognize, hey, she clearly has some type of a health problem? No, that does not mean that I think that she's a spawn of Satan. Do I think that she does have some ambitions that are contrary to the pursuit of happiness and peace for all human beings? Yes. Yes, absolutely yes. So, that's Emmanuel with the Bothersome Truth. I wanted to give my little kickback video to my friend Daniel, and we do this from time to time because we think it's interesting, so you can hear both sides of the field and both of our perspectives, because we do differ on some issues, but sometimes we can't, put them all in a 10-minute video when we're sitting together. But now we did get a chance to. Tell me what you think. Do you feel like it's fair for people to criticize politicians or people that are running for office? Do you feel like it's fair for the American people to need to know pertinent information pertaining to the candidate's health? Do you think it's fair for us to inquire? Let me know. Maybe I'm crazy on this. Maybe it's just me. So this is Emmanuel with Bothersome Truth. I'm out. It was nice talking to you guys. See me in the comments section.